Meet CardUp. CardUp lets credit cards be used for payments, even where cards are not accepted. This is Jane. She often has to chase customers like Sam for late payments, affecting her company's cash flow. This results in a ripple effect of late payments and trapped cash. To offer card payments to more customers, she signs up with CardUp and obtains a customized card payment link. Her customers can now pay her online by card from anywhere in the world, directly into her company's bank account. Jane now receives her payments on time, while Sam holds on to his cash until his card bill is due almost 2 months later, interest-free. Jane loves how she's able to accept card payments from Sam without any additional effort from her end. Take the stress out of business payments with CardUp and enjoy the freedom of card payments wherever you choose.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Shilda Ismail and you're watching Kini Halal, where we discuss about halal economy, Islamic lifestyle and all things inspiring. So we have a fantastic lineup of guests today and I can't wait to explore the innovative solutions CardUp and how they fit into the growing SME economy in Malaysia. And today we have Diana Lim, Vice President Partnerships CardUp, all the way from Singapore. Hello Diana, how are you?
Hi, I'm very well. Thanks so much for having me here.
All right, we have also Adele Muhammad Ishak, Director of Little Fat Duck Malaysia.
Hi.
Hello, hi. Okay, so without further ado, let's talk about CardUp. So Diana, perhaps you can tell us what is CardUp is all about. And now CardUp is now part of Funding Societies. And could you share how this integration benefits the SMEs in Malaysia?
Yes, sure, definitely. So CardUp, we are a Singapore headquartered company and we have presence in Malaysia, so about 8 years plus in operation. Basically, we have two main product lines. We are an online payments platform and we enable SMEs as well as individuals to use an existing credit card to make payments for something that doesn't accept cards today. So think about, like, for a Little Fat Duck, when you are paying your suppliers and if your supplier doesn't accept card payments or even paying rental for your shop, that's where you can use CardUp. So really we enable you to use an existing credit card because you have a credit limit on it to make all these payments and therefore get the benefits of using the card. We also have another product line which is to collect payments. So for example, same thing, Little Fat Duck, you have customers who needs to pay you for your catering business, for example. You can now enable credit card payments for them by sending a payment link. And even if your customer is overseas, so like Adel, he's had a customer in Singapore, he sent the payment link over and the Singapore customer could use their Singapore credit card to pay him. He didn't need to integrate a payment gateway or enable anything on an IT integration front to accept the card payment. So yeah, that's really what we do. And I think the next part is, for Funding Societies, about 2 years plus ago, Funding Societies acquired CardUp. So we're now part of the overall Funding Societies business in Malaysia. And really looking to serve SMEs in more ways than ever before. So, previously Funding Societies is the leading digital lender in Southeast Asia. It's really about lending funds to customers, extending loans to them, giving them financing. Now with CardUp, we enable existing businesses to finance their business in other ways, leveraging a credit card limit that they already have to pay for payments where cards are not accepted. So this helps a business. Let's say you have a payment due to your supplier today. If you pay via cash or bank transfer, immediately the cash goes out from your business, right? But if you can charge it to credit card, your supplier receives the money on time. And if you time it right, maybe you get your card bill end of the month and you have further 1 more month to pay it off. So now you have extended 2 months more to pay back, which is interest free, and your supplier has already received the funds. So you don't disrupt your supplier payments, they get the funds immediately. And so really that's how we help SMEs in the market by extending more and more ways for them to both finance the business as well as optimize their cash flow via credit cards.
Okay, thank you so much, Diana. Okay, perhaps Adele, being an F&B business owner, what are your challenges? I'm sure you have your rent issue, salaries issue, and there goes the COVID issue once upon a time. What are the challenges that you face that made you decide to seek out for CardUp? And how do you know about CardUp?
Oh, okay. So CardUp, I knew about it because we had one client from Singapore. So that customer told us just use CardUp lah, then we make payments for you easier lah. So that's why we got to know CardUp. So the thing was, we started using CardUp right after COVID. So after COVID was a very tough time for us businesses, especially for us, especially when we closed down so many outlets. So the business were in debt, we had issues with cash flow, we had issues with a lot of issues pending payments and whatever. So that's when it's like, how do we get our cash flows in? Because cash flow is the blood of the business. So currently the business is on emergency, it's critical. I got no blood, I got no money. So then directors only can take out a certain amount of money. So this is when CardUp, we get to maximize payment. We started dragging payments, we started reshuffling with payments to client, then we started rolling lah. So we started to use many funds, and CardUp made us drag 30 days and then we had additional 30 days. So we really maximize the whole thing of it. Then we always make sure we paid before the interest comes in. So as long the discipline of paying before the interest kicks in, that's how you do it. Because a bank's going to charge you interest, every voice charging interest. CardUp, you only pay that small fees, then you use that money for 60 days. So that's where it relieved a lot of our pressure for the payments, for everyone chasing us for money.
Okay, but before that, Adele, perhaps you can tell us what is the background of your business, how long have you been doing your business? And
okay, so we started in June 14, 2014, we started as a food truck. Then slowly we ventured into malls and then we started growing lah. So
2014 you say?
2014.
That's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
11,
A seasoned entrepreneur here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we started then we started going to malls. We specialized in Italian French cuisine. So we wanted to bring in the thing to be served to everyone. So it was affordable. So pastas at that time ranged from 5 ringgit and then a chicken with mashed potatoes were like 12 ringgit. Okay. So it was really cheap and we went into malls. So we played a volume game. So we didn't make crazy amount of money and all. So especially when COVID hit, there's nobody coming to malls. Yeah. But malls still were charging us rental. We still had staff to pay. Right. And during whole COVID also, we didn't lay off any staff. Yeah. So we told everyone pay cuts, but we will pay you and we still kept it going on lah. Okay. Yeah, so that's where later on CardUp came into display lah because of this.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions like, okay, you have been utilizing CardUp, but what about your suppliers? Like let's say, okay, the pasta suppliers, right? Okay. So I'm sure you need to do a little bit of convincing to them that there'll be some payments coming from CardUp to make payment. I need to understand this technically and how the process flow. So I'll be coming back to you after this. So okay, coming back to Diana. So as I mentioned, there are some people, they are still businesses who are still using the traditional way. They like to receive cash. Yes. For some reason, they like to have it in front of their hands, right? Okay, I'm still that person. They prefer, they have a insecurity in terms of a third party payment solutions. So how does CardUp's solution help to digitize and also give awareness in terms of this payment process? Diana?
So I think it's really digitizing the process for the person who's making payments on CardUp, because like for example Adele, when he creates a CardUp account and starts to make the payments, everything is tracked in the account. So you can see all the past payments you've made, you can see all the future payments. Future because on CardUp we help digitize and make payments a lot more efficient. So let's say you've rented your food truck for 12 months at a mall, You just need to set it up once. Every month we will charge your credit card, we will pay to the mall for you. Charge your credit card, pay to the mall. So you don't ever have to touch that again. You just do it once and it becomes a lot more efficient. So really it's for Adele's business whereby he can digitize all of that. He automates all the future payments, and then you can also download your payments at the end of the month to see like how much of your expenses go to supplier, to rent, do you pay taxes, pay salaries and so on. So it really helps in terms of control and visibility over all the payments that the business is making today. Okay. For the supplier, that's the beauty of it, that the supplier don't even need to know that you're using CardUp. But one condition is that the supplier must accept bank transfer payments. Okay. So for those who are only cash payments, unfortunately you can't, because what we do is we charge your credit card, we receive the money and we bank transfer to your supplier. Your supplier will just receive as a normal bank transfer with a reference to say this is invoice 123. Then that's how they reconcile the funds. Okay. So they don't need to sign up for a CardUp account. They don't need to even know that CardUp was being used for that payment. Okay, so I wish to also understand how fast in terms of your rate. Okay, let's say Adele has done the necessary documentation, and how fast does CardUp approve to make the payment? And he's waiting for his suppliers here. He's waiting for his pasta supplier here. Yeah. So the setup of the account is very fast. Like you just take maybe 10 minutes to fill it in. We'll approve your payment, your account within 1 to 2 days. Then per payment, when you set it up, depending on what you're paying for, let's say it's a supplier payment, we will typically ask for the invoice. So you just upload it when making the payment. Again, the setup of the payment is probably about 10 minutes or less. And then we'll approve the payment within 1 to 2 business days. So once the card is charged, your supplier will receive the money within 3 business days. Okay. If you need it to be urgent, you can pay additional for express payment, so your supplier will receive it the next business day. But typically, like if you're using CardUp on a regular basis, then you will probably plan in advance. You know that you are going to use CardUp, so you will just buffer time for all these administrative work and make sure that you meet your payment terms on time.
Will there be notifications saying the payment has already made to Adele and also the supplier?
Yes, absolutely. So along the way, we will send a series of emails to say that, oh, your payment has been set up, your payment is charged, your supplier has received the money, there will be a receipt as well. If let's say you set up your payments for 12 months, right, the rental payment example, every month, 3 days before your payment is going to be charged to credit card, we send an SMS to remind you so that you know if you have not enough limit, you can clear it.
It's SMS, not email?
That one is SMS. 3 days before, we remind you by SMS to say you'll have a charge coming up in 3 days' time, so that you make sure you have enough credit limit, or in case you forgot you set up this payment, you can still go in and cancel the payment or edit the payment.
So let's say if the credit limit has already exceeded, so how do you go about it? Yeah.
The payment will fail, so you wouldn't be charged successfully. Then the cardholder will be notified, Adele will be notified, and then he will need to log in and clear his bank statement or clear his bill, and then he can try to charge it again. Yeah.
Okay. So it comes back to all this transaction. It's all 100% digital and 100% online, right? There's no face-to-face interaction whatsoever.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So how do you feel about all this digitization? How do you feel about this online payment enabler?
Oh, for me, I was glad because I was still stuck in the time where we still had checks.
Yeah.
So when we were checks, and then
we still have all this.
Yeah, we had about 50 cents lah. I go take and sign the check. So used to that. Suddenly when these things was happening, then COVID happened. No one pays checks anymore. Yeah. So then we got used to it lah. I think because we're younger, we're millennials, so we are used to everything's digital. I don't want to see anyone. I go to banks. I don't want to see anyone. So I just we went in, we made a car, we settled lah.
Okay, wait.
So it's very fast.
You're a millennial?
Yeah.
You're millennial? Yeah. How old are you? You're already having an operating restaurant here. Italian restaurant, Italian and French restaurant. How old are you? I'm asking.
37.
Okay.
37 is,
You're not millennial. Okay, so all right, coming back to it. So it somehow is your and giving you a peace of mind. Probably that the word is you're saying. How do you manage your cash flow? And
I think when it comes to discipline like in daily life also is your discipline on your payments, on your checking or one. You need to know your amounts, how much can you use. So you need to have that in check first before you do this.
So what would be your biggest challenge in terms of 3 things? Rental, salaries, and also suppliers.
So the first thing you always pay is you pay the people. Then later you pay. You have to pay the people. Without people, your whole business mati. Then you pay your rental. If they kick you out, you got no place to do business. Then you try and target your suppliers lah. Yeah, so the supplier is always the last to pay. This is when you just call them and beg them, please, 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 please. Yeah.
So I think the first thing is, I think CardUp could be a financial assistance in terms of helping, in terms of salaries, because salaries you need to pay on time.
Yes.
So every 27 or every 30th you need to
Yeah.
make payment. So these are the things that you can somehow manage or plan systematically or structuredly.
Yeah.
All right, coming back to Diana, you know, if anybody would like to understand about CardUp, where do we go about it, and where do we apply?
Yep, sure. So it's really straightforward. You go to our website, cardup.my. You click sign up for an account, and then you just put in your email, password. Then you'll be asked a series of questions. The only thing you need to upload is the SSM for your company, and you will do an eKYC. So there'll be a selfie, show your ID front and back. And if you are signing up to collect payments for your business, then we will also ask you for a bank account statement, just the bank account number belonging to the company, to make sure we are depositing the funds into the rightful account. And the last thing will be a proof of address document. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like 5 to 10 minutes you are done.
All these data are protected in terms of the application?
Yeah, so I think security is something we take very, very seriously. From a payment standpoint, we use like certified payment gateways, PCI DSS certified, that's the industry term. We encrypt the information and we tokenize the card details, so we never store like your full card details on our platform. We're also regulated in Singapore by the regulator there, the Central Bank, MAS. So we are a major payments institution, and we are required to impose the same compliance, audit and processes in terms of our subsidiaries in Malaysia as well. So everything is highly regulated. From a transaction standpoint, we also check your transaction before we do the payment to ensure there's no money laundering, no fraud, and so on. Okay. Yeah, so I think everything is very much securely stored on our system where required, and we meet the official guidelines that's required. And we also partner with a lot of the big companies, the FIs like Visa, MasterCard, and some of the bank partners that we have like CIMB, HSBC, Alliance Bank, and so on, in terms of helping their customers make all these payments. So I think as a whole, that's the kind of safeguarding that we have in place.
Okay, let's say Adel has 2-3 credit cards. So he can... He's a millennial.
Been there, done that.
Millennial must have 3 to 4 cards, right?
More than.
Let's say I have multiple, or let's say Adel have multiple credit cards. Can it be used in terms with one name with multiple credit cards?
So on one account, you can store multiple cards. You can even use personal cards. If you're a smaller SME, you don't have a corporate card, you can use your personal card. If you're a bigger company, mid to enterprise size, you can use a corporate card. You can also put multiple credit cards. So once you load the card onto CardUp, it will be stored there like a card on file. So for future payments, you can select which card you want to make. Used for your payments, but let's say you're setting up a series of recurring rental payments, usually you will select one card, every month it will be the same card. But yes, you can split over different credit limits on different cards.
Okay, so I understand that CardUp has also integrated the accounting software like Xero, and how does this helps in terms of the processing? Also, I came out with some question also, with all this transaction, with all the processes, does this help in terms of the credit score? Let's say Adel wants to bring this, he's done all the payments, he's a good paymaster, he's a good, paymaster to CardUp, and he brings this credit score to get financial facility for Funding Society example, correct, or to any financial, can it be done?
Yes, generally.
Okay, let's go with the Xero thing. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So for Xero, we have a long-standing partnership with them since 2019. So, as Malaysia now is implementing e-invoicing, I think that's a really timely time for us to bring this partnership to greater heights. So what we do is we have an integration. So if you are both a Xero customer as well as a CardUp customer, you just need to integrate, and each time you send out an e-invoice, you can have a button there that says pay by credit card. Okay. So let's say I invoice you, you receive the invoice, you click on the button, you go to a page and then enter your card details, which is powered by CardUp. And then once you make the payment, we will, via API, send the information back to Xero to say that this payment has been made. So as a business owner, it really saves a lot of time because you don't need to go and check the payment has been made, go back to your accounting software, mark it as paid, go back and check, mark as paid. This part is automated for you. And in addition, there are other features. So you can set payment reminders. If the payment is not paid on time, you can send a reminder through the system, and it's automated. So it really helps business owners, right, save a lot of time from manual, repetitive tasks of checking, chasing for payments. Even if you don't get all the payments, even clearing like 80% of the payments this way really saves a lot of time for the business. So like with some of our customers, they actually kind of told the customer, their own clients, just pay by this link, don't pay by other method. So everything is automated for them.
So and then I wish to also understand that what are the credit limits? Like let's say his credit limit is 100K per card. Wow. Per card. So with that, can you, let's say he wants to have a renovation for his next restaurant. Can we do that?
Yeah, so we don't impose any maximum payment size, but it is limited by the credit limit that the customer has on their credit card. So let's say there's 100K, that's the maximum.
So if in order for him to increase the credit limit, he has to apply it with the
bank.
With the bank.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that answer is there be any fee imposed in every transaction?
So every transaction that's made on CardUp, there is a fee that is charged to the cardholder, because it's not like, normally when you go buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks absorbs the fee. Here, because we are saying you pay someone that don't accept credit cards, so now someone has to bear the fee, because there's always a fee for credit card transactions, and this fee is charged to the cardholder. So our fees in Malaysia range from like about 1% to 2.25 is our standard rate. But based on the different promotions we have or the partnerships we have with certain bank cards, then the fee comes down. So yeah, basically it starts from like slightly below 1% to maximum of 2.25% per transaction.
Okay, and then why is it important for as a F&B owner and also an entrepreneur to understand this new financial technology, fintech, because currently there's upcoming emerging so many products in the market at this point of time, especially using the digital solutions. So how do you know about this? And you're keeping your information most of the time, or how do you do that? Networking, or how do you do it?
I think most I just Google stuff lah, and then things pop out on your Instagram.
Millennial.
Yeah, okay. So that's one way, and then I think that's keeping up with it lah. Yeah, and then other things is.
I wish to understand, what are your, besides you, going to your restaurant, helping others, what are the things that to improve yourself in terms of financial literacy, etc.
I think most is all about reading and the people you meet lah. So, because a lot of my friends are in different segments of the one, like in banking and in IT and all, so they do tell me about these are the latest things, and then where to put, what are the newest things go, and then just have a look at it lah. So that I also take time to go effort and see what is it like, and how does it change, does it help my business or not, does it integrate, that's how it works.
Why I ask this is because, in terms of CardUp, in terms of for you to make this as an awareness to, some people may not know, let's say in funding societies, they're not sure about the alternative solutions, alternative financing. Oh, there's such thing as this. Is this a scam or something like that? That's the first thing that they think. Like I say, what do you think about having to be literate, not only in financial, but to be literate in terms of what are the solutions out there? There's so many out there. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely important, especially be it for your own personal life or for you as a business owner, right? I think it's equally important. You need to know how to manage your finances, how to grow your money as well, and then not to spend more than you should be, or how you get the right kind of money for growth, because a lot of times some of our customers, they may also, like for example, they have a project coming up and they don't know if they can take it up because their cash flow is tight, right? And they need to typically pay in advance before they even earn the money. So that's also a way whereby they can use CardUp. Like I pay for my suppliers, or I pay for some equipment or some vendors first, and then I have another 60 days or 50 plus days I can collect the money back from my customers, and that helps the business sustain their cash flow and be able to invest in growth as well. Okay, thank you, Diana. Okay, I understand that CardUp helps businesses extend their payables by up to 2 months interest free. This is really interesting. Could you enlighten us? Yes, Diana? Definitely. So let's take a very easy example. So Little Fat Duck, you have a supplier to pay for. Maybe you've ordered all your ingredients, your pasta, your sauces and all. So your supplier gives you payment terms, maybe it's even 30 days. Your invoice is due in 30 days time. Now, if you pay by bank transfer or cash or check, immediately, you have to give out this amount of money from the business. But if cash flow is tight, and what you can do is use your credit card. So you have an existing credit card, you have a limit on it, you are not using it, charge it on CardUp. So for this invoice on day 30, your supplier will receive the money on time. But you only receive your statement at the end of the month, and then following month, then you need to pay. So that gives you almost 2 months. And as long as you pay it before your credit card statement is due, that's where it's interest-free. And to be transparent, right, we do charge a fee for this payment. So every transaction on CardUp, there is a fee charged because your supplier doesn't accept payments on credit cards. And that's why, in order to maximize your cash flow, you want to use your credit card, the fee is charged to the card holder. And that fee ranges from slightly below 1% to maximum of 2.25%, depending on the type of promotions, the type of partnerships you have with the banks. And this 1%, for example, means you have additional 50-odd days of interest-free period for 1%. Okay. And in cases where SMEs are tight on their cash flow, you don't have time to go and get another credit line, or you apply for a loan, so on and so forth. You have to submit documents, you have to wait to be approved. That takes a lot of time. Whereas here, you only pay when you need to. It's very flexible. Like the sign up and set up of the payment is very quick. So like within a day, you can actually get your payments confirmed. And that's really helpful for SMEs who need, in times of need, right, they can use their credit card for these purposes. But of course, it's not always in the case of cash flow problems as well. Some businesses, they use it like maybe they need to buy a new piece of equipment, say a photography business, you want to buy a new camera, but the wholesaler doesn't accept card payments, you can also use CardUp for that purpose. And this is going to help you fuel your business growth. Yeah.
What do you think about this flexibility and all this buffer? In terms of the 2 months interest.
I think you can't complain about it.
I mean, have you ever encountered it where you feel such a relief, based on your experience?
Yeah, because of the, like you said, like the 60 days, the 50-something days. That's the main thing. Where you get to drag the money off for longer periods. So like I said, it's always a discipline to pay before the interest kicks in for the card. So that's like any credit card you use, always pay before that interest kicks in. As long as you pay that, you're good.
So we have many timings of the days of the deadline. So how do you manage that? Do you have a calendar on it? I mean, how do you...
Very easy, because it's everybody gives like end of the month, and then your credit card has the exact payment date, right? Either the 4th or the 28th. Just pay before that month. Before the end date, 27, clear all the payment on the card, then you're good to go.
All right, okay. Most importantly, must be a discipline in terms of your financial. Okay, all right. Given the rapid digital transformation we are seeing across funding societies and also CardUp in this 3 to 5 years in Malaysia, so perhaps you can tell us what are the what's next. Would that be anything add up into CardUp, or what's next?
So I think the coming together of the two businesses is really timely, and because I think in the market, right, SMEs, they typically go to one company for getting a loan, they go to another company to do payments, and what we're trying to do is really bring that all together so that a single business, right, whether you're micro or small SME, you are underbanked or unbanked even, or partially banked, or even if you're a larger company, middle-sized company, enterprise, either size of the spectrum or whichever industry, you can use our company, one of the services or multiple of the services, because we have the ability to lend to businesses that are unbanked or not served by the banks are not willing to give them loans. Or if you have an existing credit card, like a personal credit card, you can use that on CardUp. If you're a larger company, we also work with a lot of the corporate card issuers in the market to offer even lower fees on the card, because the businesses are bigger, they have cheaper rates from the bank. They are credit worthy, right? So they get better rates on using CardUp as well. So I think across the whole spectrum of businesses in Malaysia, and also regardless of industry, because the pain points we are solving, cash flow is a common pain point regardless which industry you are from. Also the ability to digitize, automate your payments, that's kind of universal across all industries. So I think that's really our vision and what we want to do, with really to help SMEs and the businesses grow in ways that they couldn't previously because they lack the financial ability or tools to do so. And that's where we really come in and envision to serve a broader group of customers moving forward by enabling more and more product lines.
Okay, all right. And then what do you think about what's next? What do you hope out of CardUp?
As for now, after COVID, you can't see that far anymore lah. So like we are hustling every day just to see like get through the months. So I think for now, as their services is good enough, I think the other ones are the cross-border. Like we receive payments, so making out payments to Singapore and to China, especially now we're buying a lot of stuff in China to bring it in. So the suppliers there, yeah. So to pay the suppliers there because it's not the transaction fees, and then the exchange rate is always an issue. Yeah, so this makes it easier lah.
I think that's a good what do you call that idea when you mention about cross-border payment and also in terms of currency. How does that CardUp gonna solve in terms of that?
I think that's a great idea because actually in our Singapore business we already have this ability for like a Singapore business to pay to a supplier overseas that doesn't accept money from credit cards. So we are also looking to bring this into Malaysia, whereby Malaysian businesses, if you are paying your supplier in China that you're buying things from, eventually you'll be able to do that. So we charge the card in your local currency and then we give you the FX rate for the payment. So yeah, we are in the works to try and bring that in along with new features that I can't share too much at this point.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Jaina. Perhaps you can tell us and to the audience, if anybody is interested to sign up for CardUp, so where do we go about it, especially in Malaysia, SMEs?
Yeah, so come to our website, cardup.ny, and you can sign up for an account there. If you need help, our email address, our phone lines are all there. You can also go to our social media pages, send us a request. We'll definitely get someone back to call you and help you with your journey to understand more about CardUp, to set up your account, set up your payments. So look forward to having more and more businesses in Malaysia use CardUp, part of the Funding Societies group.
Thank you so much, Jaina. What about you, Ada? Perhaps you can also promote your little fat duck. Go ahead.
I think for us is first thank CardUp for having us coming here, and then I think just do drop by Little Fat Duck, and then do drop by our new restaurant. It's called Cowboys Barbecue and Grill, located in Ara Damansara. Yeah, that's all.
All right, looking forward. Okay, what an insightful discussion we have today, and that's all we have for Kini Halal. I'm Shilda Ismail. We have already explored how CardUp is transforming, the businesses, managing the payments, bringing the benefits in terms of the cash flow, and also most importantly, what we can do is giving you the peace of mind and a relief. Okay, until next time, take care, stay financially savvy, and as always, do good, say good. Assalamualaikum. Thank you. Bye.
This is Jane. She often has to chase customers like Sam for late payments, affecting her company's cash flow. To offer card payments to more customers, she signs up with CardUp and obtains a customized card payment link. Her customers can now pay her online by card from anywhere in the world, directly into her company's bank account. Take the stress out of business payments with CardUp and enjoy the freedom of card payments wherever you choose.